even in ABLEKUMA North, if we can go through ours conclusively like that, I don't think there'll be any need. But if this is what we have to do, I know that we're ready to do it. I know our party is ready to do it. And I know that our colleagues and the full support of our political architecture will be behind us to get it done.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on being the Tema Mayor. All the best. Yeah. So Obi Bright was the parliamentary candidate for Tema Central, and now the mayor for Tema, and then her presence here means a lot for the parliamentary candidate. That's Arab North, pardon me. So as at 7:55, 11 people had voted, and total number of voters expected to cast their vote here are 67. And so 11 have so far voted, and so this is the scene here. Has caused some lot of traffic here, and the Accra mayor is trying to rectify that because the road is actually very small, so clearly it's understandable that it will cause a lot of traffic here. But I still want to engage most of the electorate here to really have their take on what exactly the expectations are of this very election. For some time, for months, they've been denied representation in Parliament, and so this, of course, will settle the dust and actually bring some sort of quiet to this very constituency. And it's safe to say that it's the stronghold of the MPP. Since 1996 to date, the MPP has actually held this very seat. And so people who are on the part of the NDC are confident that the party, looking at the development and then the trajectory by the Mahama administration, they will annex the seat for the NDC party. But I think you can speak to this very gentleman. Good morning. At the same. You are live on TV3. My name is all to about her, right? What about?
But I'm in 2 years. The Siena Mary is a Miko. But Yama Moose Air Cosunu. Mr. Ghana government is Obia Obia and Bompire because ABLEKUMA NORTH. I dare and come from person Moyan and yet.
How many percent?
Come from I don't person Moyan and yet. Says Sia Jana Obi able to hear and original and a mayor or 167 man. Was
I so you started the umpe.
Mempe. Into the Adam come for me vote to
me who are person to MPP.
But person to my MPP.
Into two so person MPP in Brapa. Why won't you vote? Because okay, I understand so who evidence, but what person who say MPP man why would you say you vote?
Because of me person me party in Brapa and I was going to sacrifice I try now my vote to you.
But for some time now, from 1996 to this time, MPP na Atenaso. But you see who put to be our inti almost almost come to man.
No cremo ba say see who put to be our MPP abanso our ABLEKUMA NORTH and throw because I say NDC zone, NDC strong zone pa ABLEKUMA NORTH MPP NDC strong zone.
No, if you look at the way voting partner MPP 96 MPP SAR 2020 is MPP. The facts are there. Why would you still insist? Any media
but still they vote
for MPP.
No, they are not voting for MPP.
But Osha for months, who say Parliament to go for Kasa MPs Kasa, how does that make you feel?
Okay, I don't know. Omudo Parliament in changing the entity Kasano. But now,
one Kasa ABLEKUMA NORTH muni MP. Like how do you feel say MPC Kasa muni because of
because person for Mami. Nana also affiliate and misunderstanding Tina Evan is about to say and so say young Penimasa and Kwasasamiensi.
Okay, allegations. So I think I would have to confront the mayor. So with this very allegation, I would want to confront the Accra mayor to really settle this. If really is what it is. Mommy Mintiga, I hope to be country. Until consensus, that's a willful. Oh, we both here. Now, near my question, ABLEKUMA NORTH. And your question say, you vote to a who will 28 years in here, who she were. When you vote to my almost see, you almost the bottles, one more. Nice, what do you want free flag in teaching one more, by winning? You know, am I a guy, ya brewa? Do by so who then like this development? Rabla. Number on best says, people I was for almost how many years? Open development, that means I can. Woman, she Arab NDC, okay, sure. Obi to say a free year. Over to only Sheila by test, July, no. While we need, you know, one transit, Krano, John Coshe, China. I think I about to be on time, Lucian was about no better scabby. I'm quite Yamano, and I honor Sanyaman Yaba. Okay, who says is here now. That means you have the right now to decide with your vote. Say the air cost young pent you vote in the ebeche. Me vote in ebeche vote mano. You winning. It's also on winning. And I go for 2020 pen sheet buy. I will paint Pentecost.
sorry, oh, Methodist. And I kasa bebre 2020 patient on the buy na boys no etihia no say yem pesa ha won win ni e na wakwafa so when win an ka na wakwafa 2020 patient buy uti we win and wo mu dwane call ye
mbacho bra I don't want I say I am more like counterweight we MPP ni and now we in this and now all party say there's been development here what you see the development here but when is MPP omo ya there wa
omo nya hwe by 30 do be 12 years wa ha no prior confirm pray from
very good, very good. Since that time, JJ,
I think sometimes we should also leave that political.
Odoko promote and sister. Odoko promote and sister.
See, Odoko running the bar. So now why? Running the bar. Me won second Rollins second coup. Our 45 years to see I'm catch on run.
Boss, where are you?
But you 42.
That means yo, and I'm about 45 years. Or no me won second Rollins Nikunumu, and I'm won to him. Time Rollins be president in Po.
Yes, we are.
I know, maybe I'm a man.
Rollins be here Niku no ba first no. Boys, guess be woman him Rollins. Woman him me background him Rollins. What I see now Rollins be now Kromuhano, now Kromuhan to say. Now I am crashing.
Politics or making no crack. I'm what you bought to Mama.
Yeah, when you're bad in Ukraine, you're penny on only a rabla. If I am people for 28 years, who she 1 month, we almost say, Womaco Nawaha. Then who she, if you am pat, and people Nipia, what have you? If that, every year, no, or don't share China. And I want to test Cababre, Uncle Yaman, and Yabrisano.
Very good. So as I am American, the idea near my main dear. But so see, MPP and Badia, you're trying Asher. The battle is the Lord. And Yakupana Casa, Yanni Penacasa. So you're China me. Yeah, you know, you're China coupon, and Yakupon chair. Yeah, because anyone, Yanni.
All right, interesting conversations there with my colleague George Quainin, the Accra Mayor Michael Bakpo Alote, and some constituents of ABLEKUMA North, where this morning elections have begun in earnest in some 19 polling stations, and the rerun as scheduled is going on smoothly. So far, only one report of confusion has been reported, but the police are present and are conducting and handling affairs properly, if you ask me, because calm has returned. But back in studio, as promised, our analysis and discussions will continue with Roland Walker and the team.
Well, certainly, and we know that on social media also a lot of comments in there, but this is what we intend to provide you up-to-the-minute update from each of those 19 polling stations. A number of them, Joseph Akableha told you the name.
I don't know about Bono. Why won't you hand over the person? Oh, okay.
In someone say, you have one part the way I am. No, if you be say.
Madi. Obeko Biago, yesterday. And to say,
I should listen to say, if you always compare.
Madi.
Hey,
but my mummy said, answer a quick one. A friend say, I pack a course in did you ever meet a Unia Bema Evans de Makwana?
Okay.
I pack meetings I'm twice, I'm money you see a coin now. Did you ever meet Evans de Makwa of the MPP?
Oh, yes, meetings on the electoral committee and Brooklyn North, say 6 times.
Okay.
Only 2.
Okay, 6 times.
Yes, 26, 28, 13th February, May, June, July. So around 5 or 6, I believe.
Okay.
And majority of them, in fact, MPP started with Evans and McMino. That's the first meeting. But on our side, all the meetings I've attended. But I'm saying Bakumenu Bina Evans and Babu.
Oh, okay.
But anytime there's a 2 reps from the from NDC, there's 2 reps from MPP.
Okay, all right.
But all the meetings I've attended the meetings than anybody. Yes, because I've attended all the meetings. Yes, I've attended all the meetings.
Okay. But yeah, but that's it. I think after 5 p.m. the best Fro now we'll be live here to take all the reports and then all the
and I will so collation on by your Greater Accra office.
Okay.
On by your Greater Accra office. Nanka was sent and come by no center. But the Democratic will say elections a continuation of a process. We say collation is free constituency in the core region. So it's like they are continuing to resolve the problem at that point. Like a next idea, like issue say I'm banana bibia, like a rana, like a college bay or district nemo.
Okay.
Like a bay or district nemo.
Okay.
And to draw a take crap on you stand here at some like confirming the collation and draw. The current confirming collation and draw. And we said, Yamuya, you know, we enter back. In fact, you not yet believe you say. Now MPP in Casa Bonto, they were leading by even with that number, they were leading 500. Then we said yes, sir, because if so be the number be sure. And Tomuba, now they were expecting some 50 number. And Tomuya, you know, Musa didn't know how that been to go back. Not that time now, they now go 50. But we told them now difference 48 and not 50 crappo. So the MPP insisted they don't go back to go and correct it. Then go check it because I'm not center. When they went back to enter from first to last, accountable from area 48.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the process. On the so I got you say coming in the elections we move. And now we take it to the couple of campaign.
Oh, Obey campaign.
Obey campaign.
Oh, seriously.
Not a bright money now Obey campaign. Now.
Well.
It's the MPP MPs. More parliament accusing letter commission no. More higher campaign.
Okay. Yaba be my after 5 now for your din komo. Yada see me bring. All right. Madi and I know Edin Kono di Jibril or your director of elections and my the NDC and I know AD and Komono. My men call Facebook na making kind the a hanomono na fi men twas but answer no my men call
to Odoko and then to the main streets that leads to
Hello, Fauzi.
and what have you.
It's a very, very busy people. Voters are struggling in their numbers to cast their ballots in this crucial rerun to determine who.
Right, Fauzuma Saudu there, reporting from the ABLEKUMA North constituency, and of course we just saw him engaging the mayor of Tema, E.B. Bright there. Let's now go to Hansen Ajiman, who is also in the constituency, but on a different side or a different part of the constituency. He reports that some persons.
The team we saw in about 5-6 pickups who drove past and interacted with their colleagues, we are told are patrol teams who are moving around town in the 19 polling stations as well as the entire constituency, surveying the constituency to pick up any info that could lead to any distraction or chaos. And so the police are also on the grounds. A number of them armed. Those in the inner perimeter are here. I do not see them carrying any arm, but they are here monitoring the process. And so there is enough police deployment, security on the grounds, and voting process is ongoing so far. From my last check before joining you, 47 voters have cast their ballot so far here at this polling station out of the 613 who are expected to cast their vote. So it is running smoothly, and we expect that the voters will turn out to vote in their numbers before the close of poll later in the day, sweetie.
All right. Thank you, James, for bringing us those details. And I mean, gentlemen, it makes sense that the reason we are even here in the first place is because of the violent disruptions of collation, centers. And I keep saying that the polling stations themselves, they are not a reason to have, to be concerned in terms of security. It is when it comes to the collation, that is where we saw pockets of violence. So all our reporters are reporting this morning that security is well beefed up, and I think that's a good one. We have about 5 or so minutes to wrap up, and I think, Mr. Awundri, you were the one.
Yes, I was just trying to juxtapose that what happened in the US as a capitalist state.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis our banking sector here, the government could have come in to support the banks that were doing well. And afterwards, shares were acquired for the people of the United States. So we could have done that when we talked about it. It's a good news this morning to see our savings and loan sector of this economy going so well within the first
But let me take the final words from the media personnel. You said, how far are you going with this one? I just want to take your final
words. I want to report this issue to the regional commander at Accra and see what, because currently, George, the issue here is I've not done anything wrong to anybody. I'm here as a watchman, and we are all here as watchmen, okay? So I've not done anything wrong to anybody. So if he just come to approach me to leave the premises, we are all watchmen here. So what if something happened at my back? How would I report the issue? So I'll just tell the commander that this will happen, and I'll make sure I'll capture his name. Understand? So that I will, master, look, what is going on here is very bad. The man just came here and slapped me for no reason. So I have witnesses here. That's what I can say for about it.
You see your final word. You are a witness. You saw everything. It's say no. Almost say journalist. Someone TTS now. How do you feel as a citizen?
Well, the way the officer did is very, very bad. Because I was there. I was standing with this guy. Then. I was standing with him. When he pushed that guy said no, he can't go anywhere. He's working.
But did he protest?
No.
Like, was he trying to protest?
No. He doesn't. It doesn't. So it doesn't.
So he is a witness to the incident, and clearly the media personnel wants to go far with this one, ensure that he writes a petition to the IGP to act upon this very issue. But according to the Accra mayor, would also insist that the police officer is moved from this very area to ensure some sort of calm here, pardon me. And so this is the scene here. The traffic has been cleared a little, and so people are still voting, and so we'll update you accordingly.
Well, George Quinn just giving us an incident being reported, a policeman slapping a reporter of GH1, and that interaction also leading to the reporter then saying that the report by him will be lodged to the Accra region of the Ghana Police Service, and we'll follow through on that again and get to identify those individuals involved in some of these scuffles, so to speak. But you are on a point. I ask you comment on this. Yes, sir.
In this one, I wish your cameraman could have zoomed on that policeman. This is unruly. This is unacceptable in a democracy. I think the police administration should withdraw that man immediately because it is giving them a bad name. You have powers of arrest. You don't have powers to be beating people. You don't have those powers. And that's an unscrupulous behavior on the part of the police. And I think if the IGP is listening this morning, he should withdraw the man. And I don't want us to have a repeat of Ayawaso. NDC campaign against that. We don't want such policemen there. But on the substantive matter
of the national officers,
and you can see.
So what's your point? That the national officers can hold a position and then the individual candidates as well as the leading members. Why not? It doesn't happen. Why not Abraham Amaliba?
If you have a party that is strong and party members are to adhere to the edicts or the orders of their party, you don't have the national executive issue an order and then party members will defy it in such a way. This defying of the order is so massive. It also tells you that the executive have lost control. That's what it means. The current executive have lost control. It also tells you that the followers of the party have lost confidence in the executive. So I think that where we have gotten with the MPP, they should do what they know best. The MPP should do what they know best, because after the 7th December election, the MPP has never been the same. This MPP you are seeing cannot be recognized.
But I say what you are saying, Labatel. Then you can say we don't mind and fire Omopa, Omgofa Nanadu, and Rebecca Kufa do Begina, ABLEKUMA NORTH, the Jide Wareshi, say, and then up in the Saturday.
Okay, so we drew why Yabasano Wakasabium, why? Honorable. That's a honorable member of parliament, Edema Okankwe North, and attending Kano, Teresa Ladia Wuni. Wono dodona freno obana your election powerhouse and I atna say na no pay koso for adwenkyere bra wo baby ayeto aba no utie wa ABLEKUMA NORTH wo da command ana odoko final wo so te enka bibi frito a obetumi de amane wa high live e Facebook Power 979 FM Power 979 FM, you're tuning in a boom, follow you and answer like a page, you know. Obo say feed in the hall, not do I drink raba. You're back in the amount. Yeah, live is what TV XYZ. TV XYZ to share with Facebook, YouTube XYZ broadcast na ho nyina but we want to na ba.
...141 people to cast their vote. As I speak to you, only 27 has turned in to cast their vote as I asked 10 minutes ago. And so the numbers will increase when we find out from the presiding officer, who is Joseph Obin in team. He is currently presiding over the polling station here. Now, the MPP's Nana Ekuya Efriye has been here just some few minutes ago, and according to her, when we interacted with her, all the grounds look good for her. She's actually counting on God to actually favor her to win this election. We are yet to see the NDC's Robin Obin here, but then as we are here, whatever that comes through, we will actually run the update for our viewers to get what is happening here at the center. But for the moment, let's try and speak to some number of MPs that are present here. I have the Honorable Joseph Ekwatete, who is the Member of Parliament for Pon Katamanso. Let's try and engage him. He's been here for quite some time now. What he has observed so far. Can you tell us your observation so far?
Okay, thank you very much. I think the ground is okay. Everything is calm. We came here, I think, some 1 or 2 hours ago, and everything has been smooth. As you can see, the turnout is low. And I would say that it's just like assembly election. It's not, the euphoria is not much as general election, but we just started, so let's see what will happen. I'm sure the contestants and their people will try to go to houses and bring out the people, so let's see that maybe by afternoon it will pick up.
Talking about the turnout, what do you think would be the major factor for this low turnout at the moment?
We were here some 3 days ago, and we realized that we need serious education, because these are selected polling stations. So the people may not know that this polling station is the area that the elections are going to be run. So we need serious education. And when we came to the ground, we realized the education wasn't that massive. So maybe that might have contributed to the low turnout.
Do you think the duration for the rerun was also short for you to educate the people to know?
Yes, I think so. It may be a factor. Yes, it may be a factor, but I don't think that should be the main reason.
Okay.
Because I mean, election, anything can happen.
Okay, but let's look. Is the ground favorable for you, NDC?
Very well so. You know, the motivation to come out and vote, I'm sure the NDC have advantage on that score. Because, look, when I came around, I'm from Ponkatamanso, our roads are bad. Yes, when we talk about bad roads, it's Ponkatamanso. But when I came around, I also realized some similarities, which means that the previous government didn't do much here when it comes to development. So I'm sure our people will look at some of these things and vote for the NDC. Yes, it's about development.
The MPP's parliamentary candidate, the candidate just passed through, Nana Ekuya Efriye, and she is counting on God for victory. What would the NDC count on to win this election?
Yes, first and foremost, we all count on God. Okay? But after that, they say heaven help those who do what? Help themselves. So what we count more for NDC is the seriousness we attach to this election. And as I said, we were here, MPs, some of us, my colleague, Honorable Ashao Damtitema East, we came here to actually do some house to house. So it depends on the seriousness you attach to the election, and that is what will give NDC the advantage.
Okay, let me talk to the Tema East Member of Parliament.
More to what my colleague has said?
He will talk about the security presence here. What's your impression about that?
Well, I think that there is no cause for alarm. We met the presence of the regional police commander on his usual tour on a special day like this, and so I think they've left and the place is back to normal. You can see the assigned police officers well positioned, and I don't think there is any cause for alarm here.
What will be your expectations from now to the close of the polls?
Oh, it's just the one announcement. We are expecting that our candidate, that in itself ab initio, is a big concern. Except to also add that Irabra believes she won the elections, and so she's put herself together, and the lobbying needed, the contacts that she ought to have, even with some of the incumbent MPs, he's made that, and I believe that it's going to go well in her favor, and the constituency will not lack anything. I'm sure the reset agenda would equally be implemented in ABLEKUMA North.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So you heard Honorable Ashai speaking.
Commission afa na yencheche mu se eyesuro na electoral commission for no suro eyehu bi na NDC for edise wo mu
okay
na ka wo mu hu ne ekoso ewo chief justice no kwa emi se tidia no mu su eye ne se self preservation obi apese obon no ankasa eni nedjuma ehu ban
all right
ekite say na meya mu be jame mama ye medjuma dia ende na menkoye ntina ni na general secretary ni ye no na enye se Irabra na champon eni ni nya dwene kura but Brian believe say the say na beba na dia ende ye sorry na ye nsiesie ye ho preko
okay
na
if it's because they are worried about the rain and all of that, they will provide tents. We will engage a number of them for you shortly as well, and then pick thoughts in relation to what it is that was seen, because they are insisting that they wanted. So, boss, what is your demand?
We want them to pause the voting so that they will bring everything outside. So then we start everything so that everybody would be vigilant. We see everything, what is going on. We won't change what we won't do. If you want to do vote for this one, the other one, each one, just we want to be vigilant. Be your brother's keeper. Know what your brother wants to do. When he is having correct this thing, then we know he is trying to vote 2 or 3 times. We will know that this guy has already voted, so we won't allow him to vote. We want that you can be behind, you can be this, but we all want to vote, see what is going on.
But they say that it could rain. I mean, in our season it could rain.
Pentecost, it's not only here. It cannot rain at this place. Pentecost, then you won't. Here, then Pentecost is only 300 few meters. So why? So bring this outside. Pause. You have to pause. Then we are very serious about what we are saying. We know them. We will know how they are. 28 good years. We have seen nothing in ABLEKUMA here. So we won't do. Won't change and see what will be happen next.
So you want it brought outside, and that's
outside.
All right. Let me hear from you. So you say this place is
the main problem, where the problems are coming from. We want them to bring everything outside so that we can vote outside. We want to see everything going on correctly. All the police are around. They will take care of everything, every problems that comes out. The police are around, so we have no fear. They should bring everything outside so that we vote here, we see everything, we confirm everything. That's all. All all we want is we want to vote outside, or else we won't vote. We'll go home. We want to vote outside.
Do you vote here?
Yes. No, I have my card here, so I want them to bring it outside. We vote here. This place is the main problem. The reason why we are saying that anytime we vote here, problems come here. So we don't want it that way. We want everything to go smoothly. So we want to vote outside. Simple.
In December when you voted, did you vote inside or was it outside?
Outside. We vote outside. Even when it is raining or shining, we put canopy here. All we want is outside. Simple.
And they are bringing the canopy.
All right.
They should pause.
Oh, don't call here. There is no vote that we vote inside.
That's the reason why we are here.
Church or anywhere. How we vote outside. So we want it that way. Simple. Simple. The police are here to take care of us. So we want to vote outside.
Will be free and fair.
Simple.
Right.
Thank you. So that's opinion sample just quickly from two of the individuals. One of them says they vote here, but they are not going to vote until it is all brought outside. I want to speak to one other person. What about you again? What you blow? But nimba nake okay akaniaba outside. Miniji problem anyone okay akeba.
I'm a bad Julia Giame. I'm a best suba. If you are vote to here, I bought a middle of beer go to Nagaya to me. Mafia. Majana MPP in Yojibona. I told me over Milele Nchumoni Minchu. Canopy baby. Ona more ebanye disturb process ewo asani nyehani be police bia a monitor no fia no MPP agent NDC agent no no kwa ma we okay can you momba no Pentecost na vote to je Canopy je ndio sale ye mom no twi ma me Canopy je no ne Canopy be je mi no la vote to agbo na ga Canopy aba mi bla le ka fi awon aga won ye do yi le ka fi awon aga nkura ani aga ba agbo na aga ba agbo na aga ba go sha vote olololo no amejuwo na amemeni ka vote agbe na e ka wo ni aga ba agbo na aga abakane shiji mo juwe ji ame si tabi e wo kan le do wo kan le ye
oh you are done. Thank you. So he is also making the same point and making it quite strongly that if you go to the other polling station, which is not so far away from us here, it's a similar situation. They don't have canopies, but voting is happening in the open, and so they don't understand why voting should be happening in an enclosed area like this. And so that is essentially what's happening, and we'll try to get a bit more in terms of the reaction. But for now, it looks like voting is proceeding, even as they continue to make the argument strongly that they want all of the activities brought outside so that they can observe now.
All right, that's my colleague Mawina Egbeta there bringing us a live report. Mawina, if you're still on, have you been told the reason the polling station was taken inside the church this time? Do we know why?
Well, there's been no official reason by the officials of the Electoral Commission, the presiding officer and all of that, who are all here. Perhaps we'll try and gauge that, because the individuals say from the onset that they had tried to have all of that done from the beginning, and the insistence was it be done inside. But this is inside. This is where all of the voting is happening at, as both party agents all here seated comfortably, monitoring the process, and it's been all calm. As of the last time of checking, there were 19 plus people had voted. Now I believe the numbers have exceeded 19, and so far we know that it will be more than 112. So now we understand 30 persons have voted, and so voting is proceeding nonetheless. We're seeing a lot more police officials come through as well. But we're just trying to get responses perhaps off camera, because the presiding officers tell us that they cannot go straight up and then speak to camera. But there's been no official reason, but what explanation has said is primarily concerns for the weather and others. And so no reason clearly stated just as yet. I've tried to get one or two from him in relation to that. He shied away from speaking. And so that really is just a concern, possibly about the weather. But outside of that, we haven't really gotten a concrete reason as to why we're seeing it happen inside. And initially, there was an agreement of some sort that they would try and have it brought outside. But the presiding officer again reiterated that would disrupt the voting process if that were to happen. And so it's continuing even after the barricades were brought. But now we don't know if, based on the sentiment and a lot more of the reinforcement, we're seeing Mr. Kofi Sapon, who is one of the senior police officers as well, come through. That's been what we're seeing, more in terms of reinforcement from the police coming around to ensure that the process is smooth. There hasn't been confusion. That we must state clearly. There hasn't been a need for fisticuffs and all of that. Just the people insisting very strongly that the process has to be brought outside so that they can as well observe. But that's just it as we've been observing as well here now.
All right, thank you so much, Marina Beta, and we will come back to you so you let us know if the people have been granted their wish to bring the polling station outside as they are used to. But we're going to cross over to Kwashibu now, to the Lord's Pentecostal Church, where there appears to be some chaos. My colleague Crosby is live. Hello, Crosby.
Okay.
Yes. Crosby, what can you report from the Lord's Pentecostal this morning? Yes, we can hear you.
Great. So this is the Lord's Pentecostal polling station. It is the polling station number C in the Kwashibu area. And it's a C because ordinarily it should be 3 polling stations that should be, having the elections here. But of course, in the 2024 elections, it was only the polling station C that had its result in dispute. Hence, the rerun of the election in only polling station C at the Lord's Pentecostal polling station. So far, the process has been largely smooth. I spoke with the presiding officer earlier, and he tells me that he's expecting about 563 people to cast their ballots today. As we speak, somewhere close to 60 people have been able to go through the process. The only concern he has is that there are some people who come from their homes to come and vote, but it appears they are not supposed to vote here, because wherever they voted for in the 2024 elections, they voted after the 2024 elections, there were no concerns there. So they would not have to vote here. It means they voted in either polling station A or polling station B. Hence, it is only polling station C people who are voting here. And that is also made up of people who have the surnames are coming from M up until Z. So people come here thinking that they have to re-vote, but it turns out that they voted peacefully in polling station A and B, so they will not be allowed, or they cannot vote in polling station C. So far, we've seen the NDC parliamentary candidate here, Rabna Obeng. She came a few moments ago. She interacted with some of the supporters around, interacted with the police officers around, engaged with them, found out from them how the entire process has been. It was to her satisfaction, but she declined speaking to the media. However, as she was about to leave, it appeared that she handed over something to some of the supporters. The thinking is that that should be an amount of money, and that the sharing of that package that she handed over to, she appeared to hand over to some of the supporters, is what resulted in some chaos. Yeah, there was some near fisticuffs around because the sharing of this money became a little problematic. But eventually, after about 10 minutes, it was resolved peacefully, and all the supporters, they are still observing the the process smoothly. At the moment, we've seen some increased police presence, and I should tell you that it is a regular visit by some of the top security operators to find out how the entire process is going. Not to say that anything untoward is happening or anything untoward has warranted the presence of these top security officials. Their thinking is that, and their engagement is that they are only coming to observe. So after a while, these police officers would leave, and it will be left with, you know, the regular officers who have been here since morning. So if you come to the Lord Pentecostal polling station at Pashibu, polling station C, that is what has been happening. A smooth process so far, but for some chaos that came as a result of some items suspected to be money handed over to some of the supporters, and the sharing of that resulted in the chaos. It's been all peaceful here at the Lord Pentecostal polling station C. Natural.
All right, Crosby, thank you for bringing us that update. And we're going to keep a close eye on these polling stations that have reported some confusion. But we should also commend the Ghana Police Service for their presence across all the polling stations and for being able to restore calm where there has been confusion. But we're back in studio now, and I'm going to hand over to Roland to continue our analysis part of our coverage.
Just conclude for me on the subject, and very instructive there. Just if you want to comment on that as well.
Yeah, but then some of the things that came up, I mean,
determining which heads of institution in Ghana should be sacked. The EC must go. A lot of coercion has come on the EC. So I wasn't surprised when the same EC that said no rerun is saying there's a rerun. I believe that because of the tension and all that, nobody's looking at that. But over time, it's a serious discussion we have to have. The independence of institutions. If we are not careful, if someone changes heads of independent institutions, anytime there's a change in power and others start to change the heads, it will become difficult for us to accuse them of wrongdoing. So, I mean, as we speak now, EC has flip-flopped. Our party wants to maintain a position. We don't want to be seen to be saying that, oh, we are not for Iran, but now we are going to ABLEKUMA. And that's why they said so. But again, I've explained to you why a queer every year, a widow who for the past 6 months has been abused, has been tortured. She told you recently that 30 policemen had to escort her out of the collation center. Let's see what God does. If the NDC wins, it's no news. If the MPP wins, it's still no news. Because Parliament has largely been determined. That's what happened.
Honorable, finally, you mentioned coercion. What could have been the easiest reason to have yielded to this coercion if there was any form of coercion in the first place?
But we are human beings. Human beings break down. We are not machines. I'm a doctor. Even the strongest of persons, if you put him through some look, if they put you in a room, deny you of sleep for 48 hours and ask you to confess to something, 72 hours, put you through a lot of stress, you are a human being. At a point, you will give in. And so if you see the EC giving in, they were in Parliament. MPs insulted them. I don't want to mention one senior MP who said you are a disgrace. They are human beings. I see them more or less yielding. But the most important thing is that we all want Ghana to do well. So after this election, we shouldn't go to sleep. Let's start to ask ourselves questions. How can we have a strong, independent electoral commission? Look at the police. Look at the kind of chaos that has happened in this country. Have you seen one person arrested for breaking into electoral commission offices and setting it ablaze? Their inaction is because of how Ghana has been arranged. The boss of the police is appointed by a politician. If you were the boss of the police, a politician appoints you. When you want to move, won't you check how he's feeling about your movement? These are serious matters that we have to look at if we want this country to do well. We've been in this Fourth Republic for about 30 or something, 92 to now. It is time we review some of our provisions. We cannot have a Ghana where a politician appoints the electoral commission. A politician appoints the police. If that continues, how do you call it? A party apparatchik can assault you, a journalist. They will arrest him today. This evening, when you go to a pub, you see him drinking beer. We have to arrange our state for the sake of our country. Politicians are only vehicles for development, whether MPP or NDC. The most important thing is for Ghana to move forward. And that's why we must be interested in how Ghana becomes stronger and not a politician becoming stronger than the state. Very, very important.
Thank you.
So you saw that from the former MP for Lejokuku and also former Health Minister, Dr. Bernard Okoboi. Now we have the municipality, the chief executive, that is the municipality chief executive, or the municipal chief executive for ABLEKUMA North, Kalamu Adamu Musa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
I trust you are doing well.
So well, my brother. And great stay with you.
Exactly. The exercise has started. Prior to this particular exercise, when the coalition exercise was ongoing, issues with ABLEKUMA North and all that, you were really very instrumental in this process. Is this what you wanted all this while, and is it what you've gotten? Are you okay with what is happening on the grounds now, that today is the rerun day for the 19 polling stations?
My brother, it's not about what I want. If you could recall, on the 10th of December, the returning officer of ABLEKUMA North declared Honorable Irabna Obin as the winner of the election. The EC and the MPP went to court. The court then directed that we should go and recollect those outstanding polling stations.
My brother, if you could recall once again, we have to do recollation for about 9 times, unprecedented in the history of this country. For a simple reason, NDC doesn't have pink sheets, NPP doesn't have pink sheets, EC doesn't have pink sheets. So the way that could happen is for us to go back to the people, for the people to tell us who they want us to be their member of parliament. That is why from day one we were insisting that those 62 polling stations should be rerun. If EC adhered to us, we wouldn't have been for 7 months without a member of parliament. It's not about being happy. What we said from day one is what is manifesting today.
So from what you said, do you think that this is long overdue? It should have happened
very long overdue.
Very
long overdue, my brother. Because from day one, EC doesn't have pink sheets, NDC doesn't have pink sheets, MPP doesn't have pink sheets. Only one political party, MPP, they said they have scanned documents. Where in the LI that is allowed that we use pink sheets, scanned pink sheets for recollation. So for me, I know there is no way anybody in this world can declare somebody a winner in ABLEKUMA North without a rerun. That is why we were calling for it since day one.
As the municipal chief executive, you're also the chairman of MUSEC. How many polling stations have you visited so far? How is the security situation like on the ground?
Oh, so far, let me comment the Ghana Police Service. I have visited about 15 polling stations, and I have seen not less than 10 policemen at each polling station. And they've barricaded the place too very nicely, so there is order, there is peace, and everything is going on very well in all the polling stations.
What of the numbers expected? Over 6,000 voters. Are they coming out in their numbers?
My brother, even with the general election, we struggled to get 50%. And, you know, the situation here is even more difficult because you have a polling station that maybe has A, B, and C, and the election is only coming on in C. So you could understand the confusion going on. And I know we will record a very, very low turnout. And we anticipated that.
Well, so from what you are saying, people are not really coming out in their numbers to vote?
Yes, because people were unsure. It's my polling station part, it's my polling station not part, and so on. So it's like, because so far in all the places there is no queue.
I've seen
they come in, they vote, and they leave.
I've seen a strategy from the National Democratic Congress. Almost all 29 MCEs or DCs in the region have thronged to ABLEKUMA North constituency. Is that a strategy you put in place to whip up numbers?
They are here to show solidarity to their brother. They know how their brother has struggled to get this far. So they thought it wise that once the election is going on today, they all come to the grounds to support me. I'm the municipal chief executive of ABLEKUMA North. So they are here to support. And let us also not hide the fact that they belong to a political party. And it is about the NDC.
There's also an issue of a last-minute poster pasted at some polling stations of Rabna Oben. What is your take on that?
My brother, it is untrue. Yes, some media houses also engage me on this issue. It has always been the fact that during campaigning, people post their posters all over. And these posters they are talking about has been there for over a week.
But the argument is that it looks fresh.
No, my brother. If either way, if you have been in politics, a week's poster will always look fresh. A poster that is a week old will look fresh. And these posters we did it was done about a week or so ago. And these are quality posters. Yes, they look fresh, but it is normal. Are the MPP saying they also don't have their posters on the ground? Or is it that they've been outnumbered? Who do they blame? Who do they blame? You can't blame anybody.
So for you think that the narrative that is being created has nothing to write home about, that you're having fresh posters?
It is a defeatist narrative. Because it is about posting, about projecting your candidate. And it is done everywhere. It is done everywhere. So as a political party, you know you are going for election. If you don't go and print out posters and the opponent does, how do you blame him for that? It is about being proactiveness and being strategic. So, brother, how can you hold one political party for printing posters? What stops you from printing your own posters?
Right. On the matter of strategy, just a quick one. You have served as a constituency executive. Are you still an executive of the constituency?
Come again?
Are you still a constituency executive?
I am the MC. You are telling me of an incident that happened. That is why I am explaining to you that posting of posters, every political party has the right to post its posters. So if you don't do and the other party does, you can't hold anybody responsible, my brother.
Kalamu, that's fine. I'm moving on from there. I'm actually asking, now that you are MC, are you still serving as an executive?
No. I'm now the father of the constituency. So of course, I make sure there is peace and order, and we make sure no discrimination. We are for everybody.
Right. So now that you're MC, on the matter of strategy, coming from an executive position to the MCE position, and looking back at what happened during December 7, what new strategy has been implemented to prevent that previous occasion and, of course, ensure victory for your candidates?
You see, it's about providing security. If there was enough security at the collation center at ABLEKUMA North, we wouldn't have suffered what happened. So that's why I recommended the Ghana police for beefing up security this time. And I'm even told the collation will be done at the Odoko Divisional Command. That's what the briefing I got. So you could see that they've learned their lessons and then they are now up to the task.
Right, Kalamu, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for speaking to us. We wish you well.
Now, one thing that he said that I'm really thinking about is the numbers. He said that it doesn't look like people are really going to come out in their numbers to vote, because even in the 2024 elections, they didn't get the numbers that they needed. But that is going to be very interesting as the thing unfolds. But Kalamu, as you know, has been very instrumental.
Oh, yes, we still have videos of him.
Exactly. At the collation center, you could tell the kind of zeal he was talking with. And 2-3 minutes, you come, media, you need to hear this.
Yes.
Media, you need to know
Some
this.
actually say he did all that because of course, I mean, even the Bible says.
They confirmed the results reflected that of the pin sheets. The presiding officers signed their respective pin sheets to confirm their authenticity. On all of these days, both the NDC and MPP agents were present and witnessed the confirmation of the scanned pin.
Egbeta, can you hear me?
Yes. So yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. And so right now, there are attempts to have the polling station fixed outside, which was the demand of the teaming supporters or observers who are here. In fact, it had to take the Greater Accra EC boss to come in, and then the moment she walked into the scene, she told the presiding officers there's no way the polling station can be inside. It has to come outside, and that must happen immediately. And so voting has paused while tents are being mounted to ensure that the polling station is fixed outside for voting to continue. And so that's what's been happening. She came and ordered immediately and was in the immediacy working as quickly as possible to was asking questions where could tents be acquired as quickly as possible to have them ensure a certain level of protection as and when the rains come through, which was by and large the concern of the presiding officer who was here. But she said no, there is no way polling stations are expected to be inside in an enclosed environment. It's supposed to be out in the open, and so immediately everything had to pause. In fact, I've seen persons who've come through trying to come in and vote, and the police officers have cautioned them to just hold on while the area is prepared so that voting can commence immediately. And so that's what's happening right now. And I'm just hoping I can get a few words from her again, though she said quite strongly that she didn't want to go on air, but perhaps she'll give us a bit more words as to why she decided in the immediacy that all of that must come outside. But for now, in your shot, you can see preparations quickly underway. That tent is being mounted. Just briefly, you came and ensured that everything came outside. Just walk us through the decision and why you asked the presiding officers to bring everything outside.
Actually, I had a call, that they had mounted a polling station in the church. So I came and sacked them from the church, because we don't mount polling stations in the church. We mount polling stations outside so that everybody can see what goes on.
And so now that's happening. It's paused voting a bit. Some will say it's disrupted the process to an extent.
Oh, it has not disrupted the process. At least we can give them, I don't know, but if we spend about 10 or 15 minutes to get back, we would extend the time to about 15 minutes. So maybe we'll close around 5:15 instead of 5.
You've been to other places. What have you observed? Have we seen similar? Because the concern from the people here was that it was inside and they wanted it outside. Have we seen similar, or it's been relatively smooth in all of the night?
The only place that I've seen that they have mounted the polling station inside. This is the only polling station that I've seen that they have mounted. I had a call. I was outside. I had a call. That's why I came here.
Thank you very much. Right, and so that's the Gladys Pinkra. She is the head of the Greater Accra EC, and coming through and ensuring that in the immediacy these tents are being mounted. Perhaps I'll try and go back to some of the individuals I spoke to and gauge their opinions as well, because they were vehemently opposed to the polling station being inside. Now their wish has been granted, and so perhaps we can pick a few thoughts from them as well as to what they make of the decision to have it brought outside. Tents have been brought in as well, and any moment from now, you heard Madam Pinkra mention that voting possibly could be extended. There is what is like private security as well coming through, where the police says they will not allow that. They will not allow that to happen or allow them into the inner perimeter. But interestingly, Mrs. Pinkra, who ordered that the polling station be brought outside, is not still receiving a lot of support from these persons who are here, which is quite surprising, because she came and granted their one wish to have the polling station brought outside. But let's speak to this man. He was one of the individuals who was boss initially. Now per se polling station about I
am not the one.
Okay.
The truth must be told. Before time, we both agreed, because of the rain and other things, we should do the thing indoors. Two polling agents each. We all agreed. Voting was going on smoothly, more than close to an hour or so later, then people came and they said we should bring it outside. My question was, we both agreed, two leaders agreed to have it inside. So if you are bringing it outside, there should be consensus. If there's no consensus, how can one person decide to bring it outside? In the end, we judge peace prevail. But our suspicion has been met. As soon as the box was brought down, look at the confusion and what's going on. Because we knew this will not happen. Initially, we agreed after the voting, we will bring the ballot out, count it for everybody to see. That was what we agreed. Now they said we should bring it outside. We are not afraid. It's election. We are confident we will win. We can even take it to heavens. We will still survive. What we want is peace. But our suspicion has been met. We knew if this thing come outside, this thing...
Well, for now, what it is that we're seeing is they are trying to set up the polling station because it has been brought outside, and then voting will proceed. Do you have any concerns that when it's brought outside there could be something?
That is our suspicion. We believe the police will follow the law, act strictly, and adhere to the rules and regulations of the poll. That's the only thing we want, because we suspect after the election, pandemonium will break loose here.
Because I hear in December, this was one of the areas which was very hot.
And that is why when we agreed to make it indoors, you were here. If you will be truthful, everything was going on smoothly until this thing happened. But we are ready to do it. We just want the police to protect each and everyone who will come and vote. Simple. That is all.
Thank you very much. And so let me see if I can get... right, you also have something to say. What are your concerns?
Yeah, my concern is the attitude of our opponent, how they are taking these elections to be. We are confident that we are winning these elections. The MPP, how they are taking this election here, all points the fact that they are losing elections. And probably since they are losing elections, they are using all foul means to delay the process, for which we are confident that Rabbi is going to win.
Well, to be fair, the Madam Gladys Pinkra, who is the boss of the EC, says that polling stations are not supposed to be in an enclosed environment, and so she's asked that be brought outside. That is what prevails.
Very well. See, so this thing should be both parties need to agree on it. So one party cannot decide what to do, whereby the other party is not well certain with it. So probably we all need to agree to the fact that the ballot box needs to be out for each everyone to see what is happening here. That's what we stand for. We know we are in elections, so we are not cautious or worried about what our opponents are doing. So we are well clear in our mind that Rabbi is going to carry out the day at the end of the polls.
Thank you very much. So let's try and go outside. Let's try and go outside and then pick a bit more thoughts from the da ofana nkabo wie ni okia ota oni ni aba outside akeba outside bi Antone
agaba outside so wanda nyu machine ya ga ameyeju ameye waga ame kokoko MPP party ele waga ame
ameyo wakoka mafi waga ame. Okay, so what the ATS bi ana ko to kusu ko fem to what the ATS
we are fighting for
yes you my desk waga ame so odi poor you for one. Thank you. So they are
the issue can go either side. It depends on how you communicate with your people and then influence them to vote, looking at the development at the constituency. So I think it's a dicey.
It's a tight race
and a very dicey one, kind of red round. So let's peace prevail so that at the end of the whole kabudo, the best person will emerge.
Thank you as well. Thank you. And so that's by and large everything in relation to all of the reaction to bringing the polling station outside of the church and all. We are waiting for voting to now officially begin, and I get the indication that it's now begun again. And so the process has been properly cordoned off. The officials of the Electoral Commission are back doing their work. Persons are being verified. A number of persons are in the queue as well. They are being verified, and then they will get the opportunity as well to vote. And so voting is back. Action has commenced again, and it's all going smoothly. I'm seeing the lady as well using the indelible ink, and then she will be issued her ballot paper, and then it will be crossed off. A gentleman as well just voted. Boss, you just voted. How was the process? Well, he says he's not interested in having a conversation, and so that's all well and good. But he's voted, he's made his way out, and a lot more persons are getting the opportunity to vote. As of the last time I checked again with the presiding officer here, he mentioned 30 plus individuals, and a lot more persons continue to come through for voting to proceed. And so now it's mixed reaction, but the last person I spoke to indicating quite clearly that can understand, and there's a history of some sort to this particular area and the polling stations here. 4 polling stations, just one has come up for the rerun, and it's courted quite the controversy during the December elections, and so we can understand why interest continues to peak at this particular point, at this particular area, I should say.
For bringing us that update from the Odoko Presby 4 polling station. If you missed our earlier report, what happened was that the Odoko Presby 4 polling station was sited inside the Presby Church building. Now, the voters protested, even after a few of them had voted, and said that they did not understand why the polling station was inside the church building, and asked that it be brought outside. The update Mawina Egbeta suggests that the polling station has now been moved outside the church building and voting will continue shortly. But earlier also we saw a disturbing video. The video you just saw, it's a video from the Presby and Pentecost polling station in North Odoko, where a police officer physically assaulted a journalist at the polling station this morning. And we're going to cross over back to our analysis desk, and I'm sure Roland and the team would tell us exactly, I don't know, why something like this should happen, what should happen, and how should this be handled moving on?
Yeah, so you can clearly see that it's a moment of temper that just went bad, and certainly that level of restraint that was needed was not exhibited. Clearly you can see from the rank of the policeman that he's a senior police officer, a commissioned police officer at that, and so he might be the gentleman who is responsible for the security situation and making sure that peace, law and order is maintained at this side of the polling station. A very unfortunate incident, but nonetheless something that shouldn't have occurred. And typically, well, we'll go by what the reporter from GH1 did say, that he is formally going to file a complaint with his superiors, and we're sure that some truce or perhaps justice could be brought on the subject. But talking about that, Dr. Zato, you were saying you support the decision of the MPP leadership. Is that what you said?
voice to that. But tell me, have you caught wind of any of your sympathizers or voters who are not very inclined to defy the directive or position of the NPP, you know, not to go into this election? People who may choose to abstain. Well, you are at the various polling stations, but initially you said you were boycotting, and I think some of your leadership, they still hold that point that it's not.
No, we have moved on. We have moved on from there. Since 3 days ago, the party from parliament to national level, regional level, constituency level.
So the reason I'm asking then is you gave us an official communication that you were boycotting the election. And when you changed your mind, we've been hearing bits and pieces from all over the, of course, mainstream media, but you haven't given us an official statement saying that you...
The official statement after the elections. We had a change of mind in the middle of the battle. When you are standing at the battlefront, you don't stop to ask.
So let's talk about that. What influenced that change? What influenced that change in decision?
We'll discuss it after 5 p.m.
Miracles. You discussed this after 5 years.
After 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay. All right.
Yes. After 5 p.m. After the polls and the ballots are done, we'll come and discuss that. For now, we are in the middle of the battle. For now, we are using and we are thanking you for giving us your platform. We are urging every voter in these 19 polling stations to please step out and cast your vote. Step out and make your voice known. Step out and contribute to the decision making. One thing, apart from the fact that the leader of the constituency is being elected, there is one significant thing about these elections today, and that is the people of Ablekuma are taking a very important decision to stop a possible parliamentary dictatorship by the NDC government. And that is a very important thing. And it's a key reason why the people must step out to vote this morning.
Miracles, what does this one constituency really mean for you? It will not automatically turn you from minority to majority, but what does it mean to you? Tell me.
Yeah, so it means almost nothing to us, but it means a lot for the sanctity and sanity of the 1992 constitution of this country. It has a huge implication. There is a reason why balance of power is important in every democracy. Any country that mistakenly centers absolute power in the hands of one group of persons is risking the future of the country. And currently, the ABLEKUMA North constituency seat sits in the middle of ensuring that the NDC gets an absolute two-thirds majority in parliament or halt this in the middle. If we should fail at this, and the NDC gets an absolute two-thirds majority of parliament, then we are basically have thrown ourselves into a parliamentary dictatorship, which is likely to get the NDC to tamper with the 1992.
Can you call it a parliamentary dictatorship if the voters, the citizens, are the ones who voted for their representation in parliament along those partisan lines?
That is why we are having this discussion. And that's why we are saying that we should not let that happen. The voters can inadvertently do that without really realizing it. And that's why we are drawing their attention.
Well,
remember that decision is being done in various constituencies, but the global impact, the holistic view, is what I've just outlined to you. That if Ablekuma North vote for a KI3A, what they would have done is not just to elect a leader for their constituency, but to halt a possible parliamentary dictatorship by one group of persons in this country. We do not know what they will do with that absolute two-thirds. It could be negative, it could be positive, but that is why you don't center or centralize power in the hands of one group of persons.
All right, so Dennis, we have the video. Dennis, hold on. We have the video you're talking about, and we want our audience to see it, and then I can come back to you for a quick reflection on that. So we want to show you what Dennis is talking about in terms of the police officers who accosted someone. I want to see the video I'm watching with you for the very first time. So it looks like an assault on the person. Yeah, Kojo.
The police pushed the guy and tried slapping him. I think the hand even touched his face.
Yeah.
That's
definitely
exactly. Look at him. Look at the police officer there. Look on your far right. Yeah, look. He pushed him, and then
no,
that's you can't do that.
That's a slap.
Yeah,
that's a slap.
You can't do that.
We're calling out to the IGP, Christian Teteyonu. Please send some sort of directive to your officers on grounds. We want this to be a one-time thing so we can conclude and give the people of Ablekuma North representation in this ninth parliament. So, Dennis, we've seen your video. Your final word before we take you off.
I mean, you should even see I have an image of the gentleman post the slap. And I've just sent it to Kojo Brace. I don't know if Kojo Brace is in the studio with you. You can project it as well. It actually shows you the aftermath of the gentleman has a big injury on his forehead.
All right.
Saying that we have come far. This is 25. We should allow the ballot box to speak. No intimidation, no anybody. Let people come and go home to speak. Let's count the ballot to speak. No leadership suffer any or death because of an election. That's what makes democracy beautiful.
Dennis Miracle Sabuaje is aide to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and thank you for joining us. And gentlemen, so this is what we have. They say that this election means nothing to them, but it also means stopping what they are calling a parliamentary dictatorship. I mean, you can floor that phrase if you want, because dictatorship means that without the people's choice or say in the matter. And if the people are the ones who go to the polling stations and say we want this particular party, the majority of them to represent us, that's what the people are saying.
The choice itself might not be dictatorial, but the decision that Parliament may take after us could be termed maybe dictatorial. But I mean, we'll analyze that. But first of all, I want us to talk about the video we just saw. And it tells you where we have gotten to in our democracy, where almost every...
What is it? And the name and some be a mona bonting a mocha. So we yes.
We call the phase 1 of the light up Kettun also from
yeah.
Compared to what you did so you should do it. So it's wrong. So you should do it. I'm saying it's wrong. They should take action. So any assault on anybody is wrong.
Yeah.
So I will not follow you like justify a grievous.
What cares been marching? Good morning. Have a lovely Friday. Mwah. I greet you all. Good morning.